Welcome my friends to this new live stream here on Valentine's Football Corner, and for the first time we are gonna watch football from Argentina together, because what other game could I have chosen to do this for the first time on this channel than River Plate against Boca Juniors, El Superclasico, which is for me probably the biggest football fixture in the entire world. I don't know, tell me if you think there is any bigger game than this out there. Considering the fans and what they are producing here, it's certainly one of the biggest fixtures out there. Sorry, I just turned down the music because for the squads that are being shown on the live stream I'm watching, the squads are received with music, and that's a bit loud for the stream. But yeah, tell me if you think there's a bigger match in the world than River Plate against Boca Juniors. And talking about fans and about numbers and passion, one number stands above this Superclásico above any other, which is the number 85,018. River have extended their stadium by about 1,100 seats, making this Superclásico with a record affluence of 85,018 fans. Maybe the biggest ever played, or at least the biggest ever played since the Estadio Mas Monumental in Buenos Aires was considerably modernized. I don't know if it had a bigger capacity back in the days, like the Maracanã, for example, that could once host over 200,000 people, crazy and stuff like that. But 85,018 fans will see this match. In itself, this number is not as surprising surprising for River Plate, because it's quite common that many fans come to the stadium. It's the 85th time in a row that River have completely sold out their stadium. They always play in front of a completely full stadium and don't let a single seat free, especially today against Boca Juniors. Let's turn back on the music, I hope, or the ambient sound. I hope the music is gone, and yeah, the music is almost gone. I'm just gonna see if the background sound is good. Like that, I think it should be well for you. If ever the ambient sound is not loud enough, feel free to tell me in the chat, and we are gonna turn it to a nice level for you. River Plate against Boca Juniors. It's only a league game. I don't know if you can say this in a Superclásico, but there have been Superclásicos playing for titles. Today is not one of those days, at least. And while the teams are walking into the Estadio Mas Monumental, I'm going to tell you about the situation that both teams go into this match with. Boca Juniors, after having failed to qualify for an international competition that year, which is very uncommon for Boca Juniors, they have made amends for this in the Argentinian league. The first 14 matches, Boca have celebrated 10 victories and are on the in the first spot of their league group, and so on a very, very good way to secure a very good spot for the playoffs that we will play after the main round. More about how the league works I'm gonna explain later on while the match is going on. So Boca have had a very, very good start into the season and play like a title contender just until now, and I think with the fireworks that you can hear in the background, the ambient sound is a little bit loud for you. But yeah, Boca started well into the season. Will they have an advantage today? I don't know. I don't think that either River or Boca can have considerable advantages in such derbies, except for maybe the home fans in the back, which will be the biggest advantage for River Plate in this game, who also have not played a bad start of the season, but with considerably fewer points as Boca Juniors, because River Plate, out of 14 matches played, have finished 7 with a draw. So neither win nor loss. They've only lost 1 out of 14 matches, which is normally a very, very good ratio. But with those 7 draws, fans are still lunging for more, of course. They're only 4th in their league group and will want to start a positive streak today, which is always a pivotal match, always a match that does something with the team and a club and the fans. So, Superclásico 2025, number 1. Here we go. River against Boca, the biggest football match in the world, live on Valentin's Football Corner. In 2 minutes we'll have the kickoff. That one player is missing in the squad of River Plate that I put there on the screen. I'm just gonna add him. It is with the number 21, Acuna. I remember having put him in there, but maybe it just took him out again when I was writing the next name here into my streaming software. But now we have the two squads really side by side. The referee's still discussing a little bit with the two captains of the two teams for choosing which side they'll play on. And then in about 2 minutes we should see the kickoff for this Superclasico that promises to be, as always, I think in this game, it's just something that can only be legendary. There's no Superclasicos that are not legendary in one or the other way. I don't know if you can hear it well in the ambient sound, but the Estadio Mas Monumental in Buenos Aires is completely bursting just because of the sound vibration. The fans are shouting into the oval round, supporting their team, trying to push River for victory, even before the game started. Now the teams are lining up for a minute of silence for Pope Francis, the first Argentinian Pope in history, which we're of course going to respect as well here in the stream. He was Argentinian, was a very important figure for the country and for the football as well, so let's just join the stadium in a minute of silence for him and respect this as well. Both teams in the entire stadium applauding here. One thing in which the fans of both teams will most probably be of the same opinion and will have the same feelings for once, even though they are River respective Boca fans. The signification, political, religious, symbolic signification of Pope Francis for Argentina cannot be overstated. So it is not a surprise that all the fans in the country equally will pay tribute to him before the matches start, no matter which color they wear. And with a minute of silence done, the fans resume their chants as loud as they can, because it is the Superclasico. Yo Shivam, what's going on? Alles gut? Glad you're here, glad you came to the stream. Let's watch River against Boca together. I'll speak in English for my international audience here, but if you want I can get some German sentences in, so you can learn some German as well. For all who don't know Shivam, he's an Indian friend who I met in Germany, who moved to Germany and who wants to learn German, which we're going to do together in the future. So I might speak with Shivam in German for some sentences. Hi Johannes, Gol Olimpico, Fußball in Südamerika. Für alle Deutsche, die hier gerade im Stream sind, die sich für südamerikanischen Fußball interessieren, kann ich nur sehr warm ans Herz legen. Johannes, der den macht, kennt sich wirklich sehr, sehr gut aus mit Fußball in Südamerika, gerade in Argentinien, wo er viel Zeit verbracht hat. Einen eigenen Podcast extra zu dieser Liga. Und we are getting going. The Superclasico of 2025 is underway. And just to finish my My publicity for Johannes in German. Johannes macht mehrere Podcasts zu Fußball in Südamerika und auch auf YouTube jetzt als Videoformat. Wenn ihr also in-depth wirklich jede Woche News möchtet, dann schaut auf jeden Fall bei ihm vorbei. Und Dale Boca sagst du. So Johannes, you're more a Boca fan than a River fan? Have you been to both teams in Buenos Aires? I don't even know that. I don't even know which teams you visited in Buenos Aires. I know that you're a San Lorenzo supporter, if you can say that. Supporter in the sense of having sympathy for the club. But I don't know who I want to win in this game. I don't have particular ties to any of those. So every time that any random person remotely tied to Argentina who knows that I'm making football content about South America asks me River or Boca, I honestly cannot say. Because I would have to get to know both teams first in order to decide. So, with that being said, I think we can go for a very neutral commentary here, which is also a good thing about a commentator when he comments a match. Now Boca with their first attack, Advincula I think it was, is brought down to the ground by a River player, but no foul given. And now River with the counter-attack, maybe. They are on the middle line, now the cross towards the right side. The attack still rolling. Now goes into the middle, 20 meters from goal, the pass is played there into the box. He's in the box, it might be the first chance for River. He's still on the ball, played out to the right. Besides the box, ball into the middle, blocked, and we have the first corner for River. River really starting furiously here into the match. And that, against Advincula, was not a foul. We can see it again here. 30 seconds ago, which started the attack of River Plate. And River, it's not the first time they've appeared into the half of Boca Juniors, so they want to take the advantage of their home squad and begin really furiously here to score an early opening goal. And this game promises to be really offensive, so maybe you can hope for many goals from a neutral perspective. Johannes might maybe, and the header is onto the goal, into the arms of Marchesin, the goalkeeper of Boca Juniors, and the first shot on goal for for River, sorry. Who really start to get something going early here. But yeah, in Superclasico you're always for Boca. Why is that? Is that because Boca is like the more modest, the more popular club in the sense of being close to the ordinary people? Can you even say something like that? Because like River and Boca have like many supporters who come, I believe, from all the classes of society now. Maybe not in the past, but now, certainly. Why is supporting Boca over River? Would interest me. Now River again with an attack. They are almost in the box already. Goes into the box. Now on the right side at the edge of the box. Goes to the ground line. Ball's not outside the field, but Boca can get it back into their defense now. Try to play a long ball, but River still have it within the Boca half and will get another attack going. Over the left-hand side. With Colidio. Plays it back to the defender. River really starting offensively here. Cross into the box. He can take it, but he cannot control it. And it can be cleared by Boca. Would have been a very interesting, very dangerous situation there. If not. If he could have controlled it there. The River attacker into the box. And now the foul against Boca Juniors into the half of River Plate. Maybe a chance for Boca to gain some ball possession and also check into this match in the 5th minute. It is difficult, quite difficult for for Boca in the beginning. Because River really do high pressing, really early attacking. Want to win the ball early there. Don't let Boca even do 2 or 3 passes, construct their play. And we see some balloons on the field. One black balloon among some white, like longer balloons that were thrown onto the pitch. I don't know, the River fans were starting to whistle there, I don't know why. I don't know so much about Argentinian football that I could say that. But I think in the Monumental, having balloons on the pitch is actually something quite normal. We all remember, all who are interested in football in South America, we all remember the epic receiving of the River squad ahead of the second leg of last year's Copa Libertadores semi-final against Atlético Mineiro, when they literally set their stadium on fire with fireworks. Something I will never forget, and something that makes me want to visit the stadium and Argentina in general even more. And today we also saw some firework, but I think it was not from the fans, it was actually a firework that the club had set up for this match. So not that big, and the match also in Argentina is played in plain daylight, which is good for us, because for us we can watch it at 8:30 p.m. in Europe, which is a perfect time to watch a football game. Even better time to watch one like this, but in Argentina it's actually 3:30 p.m. So they played in plain daylight. It's not this epic night atmosphere that you have to some matches. It's I don't know how many degrees it's gonna be, like maybe between 20 and 30, so best weather to play football in the Mas Monumental. We have a free kick deep into the half of River for Boca, outside of their own half. Sorry, I don't know why. I'm always confounding the two clubs. They're not even remotely have the same colors and stuff. But yeah, I think I will get used to it. Now River with the ball in their defense. Gives me some time to react to your commentary, Johannes. I think Boca is a real football club. They have roots from the harbor, with all the dirtiness, how they play, how La Bombonera feels through the TV. Perfect vibe of a football club. I have to say that from the vibe that you get through the television of the stadium, Boca also gives me very unique vibes. I don't want to compare it to River because I don't know River, and the Monumental is a monumental stadium literally, and I think that the atmosphere in there is also really, really great, and just special in the sense that there are almost 90,000 people completely going crazy. But yeah, you can feel the roots of Boca. I can very well imagine it. I would have to experience it once myself. Have you been to a La Bombonera live, like in real life, or have you mostly gone to San Lorenzo or other clubs while you were in Argentina? Because for me, like, if I went to Argentina, like, trying to go to River and to Boca would be an absolute must, that I wouldn't want to miss. I have seen vlogs of the football vlogger Fogden, who said that River was better, but that's like the atmosphere in the stadium live of River was better. But that's also only a personal view of him, so I will not confirm or counter him in any way here. But the question River or Boca for me remains open till now, because I want to be in Buenos Aires to feel it myself, to see who I like more. But yeah, La Bombonera is a really, really great stadium. I can tell you all of this because on the pitch nothing wild is really going on. The wild attacks of River have ceased a little bit. A match that has moved to the midfield has more fouls now, which was kind of clear that it would come that way. It's a derby, it's a dirty game always. It's a game that oftentimes also doesn't have so many goals, I think. It's often like 1-0, 1-1, 0-0 sometimes, because like because it's played with so many fouls and fierceness, and yeah, hate, I guess, plays a role in this fixture, to say it like that. I don't know how much on the pitch, but certainly on the stands, among the fans, unfortunately. Now River gain possession of the ball inside their defense and play the long ball down the right, but it's too long. No, it's not, because the wind has stopped the ball in front of the Boca defense. Smart ball played there, because one thing that we can see there on the pitch is not visible for you, but really interesting to watch. The game is accompanied by a very, very high amount of wind that is blowing from left to right, like on the screen I'm looking on. So right now from the Boca goalkeeper's goal to the River goalkeeper's goal. So the wind is blowing in favor of Boca in this first half. And River, when they play long balls, they really have to play really, really strong balls and hope that they will drop down in front of the Boca defense, as it happened now. Didn't create a dangerous chance there for River. But interesting enough, the wind is gonna be something to watch here, and a shot on goal now for River, but not in any fashion dangerous. No problem for Marchesin. But they will have to take care of that, and Boca will want to use that advantage, I guess, in the first half. They haven't really done it in the first 10 minutes. Didn't really create an attack till now, Boca Juniors. Till now, River with more ball possession, with more aggressivity in their pressing. Boca waiting for River to make mistakes. Now River on the left-hand side with, I think, Colidio it is. Yes, it is Colidio, and he still has the ball. He goes into the middle, goes down, is fouled, and we have a free kick for River. On the left-hand side, about 35 meters from the goal, would be a great set piece for a cross-in. And maybe a chance to create something from a set piece when the game flow is often interrupted by either wind or fouls. Went to La Boca and La Bombonera, but never been into the stadium, unfortunately, Johannes. That's something you want to change in the future, I guess. Maybe we'll be able to go there together even, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say anything because my time slots to go to Argentina will be limited in the future, I guess, but who knows? Maybe with some chance, some planning, I don't know, but yeah, La Bombonera, I guess, is something really worth watching. I actually have some initial contacts that will surely get me a place in La Bombonera one day. Maybe not for a Superclasico, but surely for some normal league match, I guess. So I think visit would be possible if ever I go to Argentina. Acuna will play this ball, this cross into the middle from the left-hand side, about 30 meters from the goal, 35 meters, I don't know how much the actual distance is. Acuna now gets the cross in, it's high and wide, the header drops down into the box. Where is the ball? I can see it on the screen, and now it's cleared by Boca Juniors. Ball dangerously dropped down there at the edge of the small box, inside the box, and now the counter-attack for Boca because the ball was blown out by the wind a little bit. Boca Juniors, he's in the box, but the defense of River is there and gets him onto the left-hand side. Zenon of Boca cannot finish this counter-attack. That was promising at first. And I'm talking about the wind because it is important, because the ball was pushed a little bit by the wind when it was cleared off the defense by the Boca defender. And was pushed this decisive 2-3 meters into the foot of Zenon. Fortunately for River, he couldn't make any more out of that. Because there were Zenon and a colleague against 3 of the River defenders. But the good defense actually made it no danger. Boca now with the throw-in from the left-hand side. Cross comes into the middle, no one there. The ball goes all the way through to Advincula now on the right edge of the box. Advincula going into the middle. Plays it to his colleague, now 30 meters from goal. Now the cross it towards Advincula, he can control it, but he cannot sufficiently control it into the arms of Armani. But now the first dangerous situations for Boca here as well. 15th minute. And it was offside as well. Wouldn't have counted. But still Boca creates some presence into the box of River now. With fast counterattacks whenever they can get the ball. Also with the help of the wind that is blowing strongly from behind their goal in towards the River Plate goal in the first half. In the second half, for sure, of course, it will be the other way around, so River will have this advantage then. But for now it helps Boca. Now River with an attack on the middle line, now down to the left-hand side, Colidio. Against the Boca defense, what can he do? Colidio Goes down through the defense, he's at the left edge of the box. The cross comes in, it's cleared away, and it's a corner kick for River. We are seeing dangerous situations inside the box here. It's an offensively interesting game. Not one that both teams don't want to make mistakes. They go for risk. It's kind of a chaotic flipper ping-pong game, which is great for the neutral spectator. Because the wind is also playing its role. The balls are kind of unpredictable sometimes. Because of the high gusts. Now the corner into the box. Header by River, but into the arms of Marchesin. Again, a chance from a header for River. And again, no real danger. But already the third one here. Boca now with the ball inside the defense. Advincula playing it back to his defensive colleague. Battaglia, I think it is. And Riva are getting the pressure going. Try to win the ball back inside the box of Boca. From the Boca defense. Standing really high there. They have the ball now onto the middle line. Long ball played down the Boca defense into the feet of Colidio. Colidio into the outside of the field. It's gonna be a throw in for Boca. But River really trying to get pressure and long crosses behind the Boca defense going to create attacks here. Advincula will take the throw in. Doesn't really have options there. Gets booed by the River fans for that, for not throwing in, because he didn't have many options. And the River win the ball back immediately. Long cross, played into the box, and the header is there, but again into the arms of Marchesin. Might maybe have been a little bit more dangerous if he had taken the ball into his foot. Boca now on the defense with the ball. As always, attacked early on by River. We may get the ball back there in the midfield. And do really get the ball back because Colidio blocks the ball with his head but cannot control it. It's only throw-in for Boca. Colidio on the left-hand side, creating much play there for River always. It's him and not Franco Mastantuono, the 17-year-old super talent of River, who will be the focus player today. Because the top goal-getter of River, Borja is injured, but now Boca Juniors with the attack, play the cross into the box but cleared away by the River Plate defense. Boca always trying fast attacks and counters. Now River fouled by a Boca player in the midfield. The counter attack, the possible, is made impossible by that, and we have the first yellow card of the game against Belmonte of Boca. Yeah, I was saying Franco Mastantuono, 17 years old, already the player with by far the highest market value of the squad of River Plate. Basically any big European club like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Manchester United and many more have put an eye on this absolute jewel. If he continues to play like that this season, he may be able to join one of those clubs rather sooner than later. But for this, he will also have to perform in Superclasicos like that, because those are the games where the character of the player and the ability to perform under pressure and not normal conditions are shown. Now River with an attack over the left-hand side. Galoppo with a cross in. Galoppo will play it inside the foot of his player, but he cannot control it. Now it's Colidio inside the box. Gets brought down to the ground. No foul set by the referee, and I think he's right. No penalty for River. Absolutely nothing. And now we have the free kick for Boca. because Belmonte gets fouled inside the half of River Plate. Will get the game to calm down a little bit. The Boca top goal getter though is a player we all know from the Argentinian league for many years. Miguel Merentiel, 6 goals in the season already, in League and Argentinian Cup, all competitions combined. A key player in the success until now of Boca Juniors, for them being first in the league after 14 match days. But will he also score today? We'll see. Ball's now down the left-hand side for Boca. Can he play the cross in? No, he can't. He's waiting for some of his colleagues to come, and now wrong passes there. They lose the ball to River. Ball now played down the right-hand side, but controlled by the Boca defense, who will try to get something going for them. Will try to run away or try to free themselves of the high pressure of River Plate. They always attack the player with the ball very early on. And Boca, they have their problems with that. They cannot really create set and calm attacks. It has to be fast and away, out of the reach of immediate one-on-ones of River, who have now won the ball back, but play it into the foot of Advincula of Boca, who will try to get down the right-hand side of the pitch there, but does not do it with success. Throw in for River. The ball's with their midfield. Now on the right-hand side. Still with the defense. Boca don't attack River that early on. Wait for River to make the mistakes and then have their own counter-attacks. River with the ball in midfield, and now they get the foul. A player of them rolling onto the ground, seemingly injured. 30 meters from goal. Referee gives a foul, and the Boca players are not at all okay with that. Another yellow card. It's the 3rd yellow card in this game already, in the 23rd minute. We'll soon see for whom. We'll see if it was a foul. I don't know, it was, yeah, sure. It was absolutely a foul. The Boca player also plays the ball, but also hits the foot of his opponent with the tackle on the ground. So surely a foul it is. 30 meters from goal for River, and another set piece to maybe create something. Marcos Rojo is the one complaining, the captain, who's the only player to officially have the right to do so for Boca. But I think he doesn't have many reasons to complain, because this foul that was given against his team was absolutely correctly seen by the referee. And will create dangerous situations for maybe even shooting the ball directly on goal. I don't know, maybe a little bit far for that. Maybe with the help of the strong wind coming from behind the Boca goal. They might even create a very interesting cross that will just fall down like a stone into the box. It is possible that the ball just does like a flight curve that resembles like and then gets stopped by the wind and just drops down like a stone. Could be interesting. Now here the graphics on the screen of the TV pictures show the exact distance, and I didn't guess it. I didn't guess it badly. It's 28.1 meters. I said 30. And now the referee even lays the ball a little bit further back, so we're approaching this 30 meters. Castaño will bring the ball in or shoot it directly. I don't know. To me it looks like he will try it directly. 4 men inside the wall of Boca. Still a long distance though. Let's see what this gives. Castaño on the ball. Castaño is not Castaño shooting, it's his goal. Oh, that's into the goal! Mastantuono! Goal for River! An absolute dream of a screamer! What a goal! Inside the Superclasico of the 17 years old superhero of River. You didn't see that coming, and yet it was going in the top right corner perfectly. What a goal! Franco Mastantuono puts River up 1-0 with what could be a career-defining moment for the 17 years old. I was saying, if you're that young, if you're watched by the entire football world because you're considered one of the best of your age, those are the matches you'll have to perform in. Those are the matches, the special matches. You will have to show that you're able to produce great moments. And Mastantuono, he certainly produced one of the biggest Superclasico moments of the last years here. One of the most beautiful goals that was ever scored in a Superclasico. Is that the takeoff of a world career? I'm not exaggerating when I say that. The years will tell. River's up 1-0. Just gonna put it into my stream here. And River are making it 1-0 in the Superclasico. Boca now with the attack. Merentiel furiously responding with another shot on goal, and I think it was a corner kick, isn't it? Or did he just miss-hit the ball? He just miss-hit the ball. Miguel Merentiel running towards the Boca goal, the River goal, but miss-hitting the ball so much that it just flew off 5 meters or so of the River goal when he was already on the right-hand side. But Boca, they will have an interest now to augment the frequency and the intensity of their one-on-ones as well. They were kind of playing it chill up to now, hoping for River to make decisive mistakes so that Boca will get the opportunity for counterattacks with the wind in their back. That is really strong today. But until now, this tactics has proven not effective. Boca without a real goal chance until now, and River up 1-0. And talking of wind, I'll talk more about wind later, because River again with an attack but blocked away by the Boca defense. Is a throw-in for River Plate. And speaking about wind, I think this absolute screamery beautiful goal of Mastantuono, scored in the 25th minute, of a free kick of 30 meters of distance from the goal of Boca. I think it wouldn't have been possible with the wind from coming behind the goal that had stopped the ball decisively in its flight curve. And now River with the next attack. He's inside the box again. He can shoot, and it's saved by Marchesin. Another big chance for River. Almost making it 2-0 here. I don't know who it was. Can see it. I think it was... You have to see his number there to be able to identify him. But just to tell you about the free kick of Mastantuono. The wind decisively kind of slowed his ball down so that it could fall down perfectly inside the nick of the goal. And now another chance for River, and what a save of Marchesin. A header from 5 meters of distance, straight into the middle of the goal, so that Marchesin could keep it out of his goal with luck. Had it gone into one of the corners, Marchesin would have been unable to save anything there. Would have been the 2-0 for River. Now Boca inside the box of River, and Merentiel get the ball gotten off his foot by the River defender there. Now the game really starts to get some speed and pace. from one goal to the other in a matter of seconds. This is a real Superclasico, that's what it's all about. The chance for River on one side of the header of the corner, and now Boca getting the first corner of the game. After Merentiel almost appeared freely in front of Armani, the goalkeeper of River Plate. Corner in now for Boca. Their first set piece here, and it's cleared away by the River defense. No danger. Another ball inside the box, but too long. It's into the arms of Armani. And River themselves have survived the first wave of really dangerous Boca attacks, even though it didn't result in a real shot on goal. But dangerous positions there. Half an hour played. A deserved 1-0 for River. They are the more active team. They are creating more actions towards the goal of Boca. And the goal itself was the sole highlight of the game. One of the most beautiful goals ever scored in a Superclasico by Franco Mastantuono, 17-year-old super talent of River, off a free kick 30 meters away from the goal of Marchesin, with a very, very beautiful flight curve that you could see from behind the goal. It swirled and just like wheel, like this. Just like that, into the goal, into the top right corner of the Boca Juniors. In a free kick path that you don't see every day, certainly. Free kick flight path, I think, I'm saying. Because normally from 30 meters, I was thinking like a professional goalkeeper normally keeps free kicks like those. Because they are normally shot in a way that goalkeepers can save them. But this time, it was just hit so perfectly that I don't want to blame Marchesin for the goal of Mastantuono. It was just a pure moment of football beauty. Here rolls the next River attack. They are inside the box but cannot control the ball. Boca get it off, but River can secure it with their defense. Boca don't really get into this game now. They have had some kind of promising attacks, but apart from those, it's really River having ball possession, creating situations inside the half and towards the goal of Boca. It's a really convincing, strong and energetic performance of River here. And we have a free kick for River at the left top edge of the penalty box, not far away from there. Chance for an interesting cross inside there. Advincula cannot believe it. He said I played the ball, but he didn't play anything. It was a clear foul. And another proof of River's dominance. Most of the set pieces are also in their favor. It will be brought in by, cannot see who it is, it's a little bit small on my screen there. Maybe Mastantuono. No, it's not Mastantuono. Cannot see who will bring the cross in, but there are certainly players waiting inside to get a good header on there. Referee telling the Boca player, who's the only player on the wall, to move there a little bit, so not taken yet the free kick here. Left hand side, about 5 meters off the left edge of the penalty box, so close to the penalty box. Will be an interesting cross, and crosses have created danger till now. Now the cross comes in, drops down dangerously into the Boca box, but can be cleared away by a Boca defender. Maybe the chance for a counter-attack here for Boca. Ball played into profounder, and now Boca are running down the left-hand side. Can he control it? No, it's tackled away by a River defender, Perez, who tackles the ball inside the outside of the field. But could have been one of those attacks that Boca wants. Dangerous, with 1 or 2 touches only through the entire team of River. And now, left side of the penalty edge is played inside, but cleared away by River. That was dangerous there. Boca player appearing into the left-hand side down the ground line of the River box and tries to play the ball inside, finding one of his colleagues, but it's cleared away by the River defense. If it had found one of his colleagues, would have been maybe an open goal for Boca there, who had the ball, but show another problem of their play until now. They play, when they pass, when they play passes, they are oftentimes also not that precise, not arriving at the colleague. This time it was meant to be a cross from the left to the right hand side into the half of River, but into an area where no one was standing, and we have the throw in for River. So Boca lacking a little bit of everything here until now. Precision, physicality in the one-on-ones, chances for goals. They will have to change tactics in the second half, or in the rest of what stays of the first half there. Because until now this is River Plate's match, who are leading deservedly with 1-0 and could even lead higher. Boca again cannot control the ball. On the left hand side in the middle of the field. And it goes into the outside of the pitch, so Boca like really literally without control for the game. Because they cannot do the most basic thing that you need to control the game, which is control the ball inside your own foot and passing it between your players. Because either River is attacking very early on and blocking the passes, or because the Boca players simply don't play that precise passes. Now a mistake of the River defense, and it's a 1-on-1 for the Boca striker. He's through, he shoots, goal! For Boca! Out of nothing, Miguel Merentiel 1-1. And that's how fast it can go, that's how cold it can be played. And the River lead that I was saying was so deserved is gone. And Boca with the equalizer. They win the ball back off a River player, left hand side of their own half, and they just play a long ball to the front towards Merentiel, who normally has two defenders against him, but because of the wind, because of the strong wind that gives the ball 2-3 decisive meters, the River defender jumps under the ball, and the ball is just flying over him into the foot of Merentiel, who can go inside the box of River and just put it past Armani coldly in the 37th minute to make it 1-1 and draw this Superclasico that increasingly becomes one of the more crazy matches that you see, one of the more entertaining ones. Just gonna put the goal in here. Standings are 1-1. And it's the 7th goal of the season for Miguel Merentiel. Who else but him to squeeze it past Armani and make it 1-1 for Boca. In the 37th minute, of course. I also turned down the volume of my voice a little bit because I think that when I'm shouting goal, it's a little bit loud. So maybe better if I don't shout like that. You can write me into the chat if it's too loud what I'm shouting here when the goals are falling. Feel free to conversate with me here. To all those who are in the stream and don't know me yet, I'm Valentin from Valentin's Football Corner, talking about football in South America on my channel that I created in January because I'm just passionate about the football that's going on in the continent. And also doing occasional live streams of interesting matches that are going on in the continent and are played at a watchable time here in Europe, where I come from. So when I saw that at 8:30 PM there would be a Superclasico, I was streaming it for sure, and now ball played into the foot of a River attacker but by a Boca player, because also the Boca defense was about to make a very, very big mistake there, but Also, the River striker couldn't control the ball, so no danger there. Almost mirrored the 1-0, the 1-1 of Boca, when Merentiel was appeared freely in front of the River goal because the River defender misread how long the cross would be played that was facing him and just jumped under the ball so that Miguel Merentiel had a free way. A similar thing almost happened because Boca's defense made a mistake, but nothing was happening there. Just to finish telling you who I am, Valentin from Valentin's Football Corner, passionate about football in South America. When I saw 8:30 PM here European time would have a Superclasico, I was sure that I would stream it because there's no bigger match than this in South America, maybe not even in the world. Do you think the Superclasico of Buenos Aires is the biggest match in the world? Write it into the comments. Write into the comments which team you want to win. I honestly cannot say, because I've never been to Buenos Aires. I don't have any tie to any of the teams, so I'm actually looking at this quite neutrally. But who are you supporting? Would interest me, for instance. River now with another cross inside the box, and one River player going down in the box, shouting loudly. It is... there is a number 3, I don't know who wants the penalty, but I think it was maybe even a foul of him against that Vincula of Boca, because both players were running into each other, falling down both. The River player just shouting really loudly. Doesn't get the penalty for this action. I think it's the right decision not to give a penalty here, but to just let the game resume. Boca with the ball inside their defense, but the River pressing again effective because Boca lose the ball to them but win it back. Now again a long ball towards the River defense. That's how they wanna create success, just play the ball long towards the River defense and hope for mistakes of the River defense. I was thinking that this was not a good tactics because I thought the River defense would just be stable and stand until the 37th minute when one long ball was played. Big mistake by the River defense, and Miguel Merentiel just had the open goal in front of him and could squeeze it past Armani. So even though you might say that the Boca tactics, waiting for mistakes and playing long balls, is, especially in a Superclasico, not a real bold tactic, not the tactics that will likely win you the match. Up until now, it's 1-1. And Boca can be glad to have this result because they're not the better team, but the more effective. Now River again. Cross inside the box. Cross comes in. The header. It's saved. The shot comes in. Goal for River. And as I say it, River have back the lead. With a dangerous cross inside the box. A header that can be saved by Marchesin, but he cannot hold it into his hands. It drops back in front of him. And then, who was it I didn't see it? A striker of River can put it past Marchesin and make it 2-1 for River. Out of 3 meters of goal distance. There I see it again on the screen. Now we see it's no offside. Everything well. And the header that came in was saved by Marchesin, but was so firmly headed and from such a short distance central to the goal that Marchesin couldn't keep it into his hands. And then ball just squeezed past Marchesin by a Driussi it was. Driussi makes it 2-1 for River, which is deserved in my point of view. But the Boca players are still protesting this, especially Marcos Rojo, who's the captain. Will we see VAR? I haven't seen the ref doing anything to check the goal on VAR and stuff. So I think, and I didn't see anything wrong with the goal. Because Marchesín didn't have the ball, didn't control the ball into his hands. There was no foul in the build-up. So for me, everything's fine. But not for the players. Apparently, but this is the Superclasico, so maybe they're just protesting to protest. But this should count. 45th minute of the game. Driussi with a 2-1 for River Plate. What an entertaining Superclasico. What a great and entertaining game of football it has been in this first half. The players are still protesting on the pitch, still talking to the referee, who's still explaining his choices to the Boca players, but everyone's there, now ready to resume the game. We will see some added on time being played, I guess, because of the goals, because of some fouls that were played. I don't know how much it is. We're already into the added on time of the first half. I'll tell you how much it is as soon as it will be shown. River have a throw in inside their own half. I guess that's maybe gonna be it, depending on how much added on time it will be given. There will be no additional goals inside this first half, but you can never know. 2 minutes of added on time shown, and those 2 minutes are over now! First half over of River Plate against Boca Juniors. It's 2-1 for River Plate. It is a deserved lead in the first half because River were the better team, were the most active team, were the more active team. They had more ball possession, more shots on goal, more chances. Could have even, with a little bit more efficiency, made it 3-1 score. 1 goal more, 2, I don't know, but for Boca, who really only had one good chance for a goal in the 37th minute when Merentiel appeared alone in front of the River goal because of the defensive mistake of River. Apart from that chance, Boca didn't really have anything to do inside this match, so the River lead is absolutely deserved. And if Boca doesn't get a little more dynamic, a little more physicity in, they will not be able to turn this around. But we'll see. See you in some minutes for the second half of this already now very entertaining and very, very cool Superclasico. We're back for a second half. El Superclasico between River Plate and the Boca Juniors. It's 2-1 after the first half. After a very entertaining first half that you can rewatch if you want. If you wanna just go back in the time bar, you can have all the best moments. When the goals were falling, I can promise you, I don't want to spoil it to you if you're new in the stream. They were really, really great, especially the 1-0. I'm sure I'm gonna put this on Instagram somehow. Gonna put a clip of that, of me commentating and the goal being scored on Instagram, because this was just one of the most beautiful free kicks I've ever seen being scored in a Superclasico on top. Like, that was one of the most beautiful free kicks I've ever seen, but it was scored in a Superclasico, which makes it even more special. And it was scored by a 17-year-old prodigy, Mastantuono, which makes it even more special. So, a goal, maybe for the history of Argentinian football. Especially if Mastantuono really goes on to make a world career, as many hope for him right now. But he has made a difference in this game until now, even though he hasn't had this many actions offensively. But this one free kick was enough to make him the absolute highlight of this game until now. I have some statistics for you, gonna tell you who's better and who not. And the statistics are pretty clear. As I said before halftime, River is the better team. River deserves this lead and could even have a much higher lead than that. They have more ball possession and considerably more shots. 10 total for River in one halftime, which is about one shot every 4 to 5 minutes, which is much, if you consider it. Boca, though, only have 2 shots, out of which only one was on target, and this was the goal they scored. So literally the only real chance in the game, they scored their one goal. So there already the River lead could be higher. And River themselves had 10 shots, out of which an unbelievable number of 9 were on target. So only one shot of River missed the goal of Marchesin. So, from this perspective, River could lead much, much more. If you saw the chances, you know why it's only 2 goals, because many of those shots were either long shots or weak headers from long distances, so no problem to save them for Marchesin. But still, I think it's an impressive statistics that River have 10 shots and 9 on target, which just shows how precise and effective in the using of their chances they are. Because when they had big chances, they usually were into the goal. And this makes the 2-1 lead well deserved, in my opinion, and the statistics I think support me. And I'm really, really curious to see what the second half is gonna give. We have some substitutions. Just gonna see who's gonna be subbed in or off or not. Just gonna change the clock. To 45. Will it resume from 45 or will it not? I'm just gonna check that. Let's make it second half. Just gonna set the stream up a little bit so it's gonna be perfect when the game resumes. No. We have to reset it and then go for it. And this is in this exact second we have the second half of this really memorable Superclasico going, with Boca starting with ball possession, but River get the ball and now down the right hand side with the first attack, even though it was Boca who were initiating the second half. Marchesin wanted to pick the ball up there, but a River player gets into his way and actually puts the ball into the outside of the field. So River, not dangerous, but shows how far they are willing to go in the one-on-ones, even attacking the goalkeeper, wanting to pick up the ball, and knowing that the River attacker cannot create any difficult situation here. Now ball into the box of Boca, but cleared away by the River defense. Comes back to a Boca midfielder. There we have Zenon. But nothing dangerous. Throw in for River on the right hand side. Just gonna get the substitutions in Who was subbed in, who was subbed off? Is it shown here? We saw it changing of players at the side of Riva, but I cannot see who it is because my flash score doesn't show it. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in once I saw who was subbed in. Well, we are seeing a Boca throw in on the left hand side, deep inside the Riva half. But they're unable to create real passing play there. That was another good example for that, because Boca midfielder had the ball, wanted to play towards his colleague, but he was 3 meters inside the offside. So he didn't even go for the ball, and we have a goal kick for River. Which kind of shows the problem of Boca. They are not precise enough. They don't have the ability until now to create real, concise, real combinations that last more than 2 or 3 passes. And now we see the substitutions. It's Bustos who comes for Montiel. Bustos with the number 16. It's gonna put him into the home squad. For Montiel. Bustos is now in the squad of River Plate for the second half. And Boca have another attack down the right hand side at Advíncula. Advíncula goes down into the box, plays the ball in the middle, but it's blocked away by River. But Luis Advíncula there on the right hand side, who is normally a right defender, but I think that's kind of his playing style, also appears oftentimes far in the offensive part of the game. Tries to go past some River defenders and midfielders there to get some cross in from the right hand side. And he's successfully did this now. Just that the cross was blocked successfully by the River defense, but this is maybe how they can create this might be how they can create danger. Profound balls down the sides, especially right, because they have Advíncula, who can then secure the ball and get a cross in. And Boca have won it again in the midfield. They have more possession now. They seem in the first 3 minutes of the second half as though they may be able to create some more attacking play. Ball crossed down inside the box, but no problem, it's inside the arms of Armani. But this was something that, if they do this 5 times, 1 time it will be dangerous. Ball from the right hand side, crossed into the box, and this is how it's going to have to be done for Boca. Now River with the attack on the left hand side. Almost into the box, but the final pass into the box is blocked by the Boca defense. It is Advíncula now with the ball. Brought down to the ground by a River player, and it's no foul. So throw in for River, left hand side, inside the box of Boca. And they tried with a profound ball. It's won back by Boca, but no midfielder there to take it, so the River attack continues. Down the right hand side, and it's a throw in for Boca. I was seeing it was a River player trying to grab the ball there. But it's a throw in for the other team, for Boca Juniors. Another long ball played by Marchesin down towards his attackers, and the Boca midfield can secure the ball. And while I'm saying that, the midfielder gets attacked by 2 River players who clear the ball into the outside of the field for throwing for Boca in the middle of the pitch. Advíncula throws it towards his colleague. Ball now played down the side. Long cross to the left hand side, but the River defense control it. Play a long ball themselves, which is run back by Boca. So you see there's not really much happening in the midfield. Possession changes, but no real danger. One team will need a moment of winning a ball in a more decisive moment. Some small mistake of the opponent. Now Boca come with Carlos Palacios. Carlos Palacios plays the ball to the right to his defender, who now makes some meters. Ball onto the right hand side again with Advíncula. The ball for the crosses. The cross comes into the box, down the ground line, right hand side into the edge of the box, and we have a goal kick for River, because the blocked ball bounces back onto the Boca player, who reclaims the handball, which I couldn't see there in the action, so everything good. There's not going to be a penalty for Boca. No handball as reclaimed. River now trying the long ball past the Boca defense, which actually works. And now the long cross, left-hand side. If he can control it, he can go into the box, but it's won back by the Boca defense. But immediately won back by River. Now the right-hand side, Castaño. Castaño plays the cross into the box, but headed away by Advíncula. But River continue with Acuña on the left-hand side. Deep inside the Boca half, and now the ball won. And he's already into the box. The shot goes in, but it's blocked by Boca. I think it was Mastantuono, I couldn't see it really. Who was that? But dangerous situation that created against straight and precise passing play by River in the offensive third of the pitch, which is their receipt, their recipe for success until now into the game. And they have another one going now deep into the half of Boca. It's on the right hand side of the box. The ball's into play, the shot comes in, but it's over the goal. Drusi, 15 meters of distance, gets the ball played back to him from the right hand side of the box. And he had much space there. Maybe would have had the space to control the ball and shoot then. Would have been the better decision, because the shot he got going just flew 5 meters over the goal of Boca. Could have been much more there. And I had talked much about the wind going in the first half that was blowing from behind the then Boca Juniors goal. I think this wind has mostly calmed down, so the advantage that Boca had with their backwind is not an advantage for River in this half. At least I cannot see any real gusts or any effect that this has on the ball. So good choice maybe there by Boca to get this wind advantage going in the first half, because River now have to play in neutral air conditions. Interesting enough that I have to mention this in the first place. Now River, cross comes into the box and cleared away in the last second. It's a goal kick actually. Didn't even have to clear away. Mastantuono was ready to take the ball there in the middle, but gets... There was a Boca player in his back clearing the ball off his foot in a way that it kind of bounced back on his foot, which means that it's a goal kick for Boca. At least that's what the referee showed. I don't know. Maybe we'll see in the corner soon. We have a substitution in the meantime. Galoppo. Giuliano Galoppo of River Plate. I think will have to be substituted off because of injury. He can walk alonely, so it doesn't seem anything too bad, but bad enough for him to have feel he has to be substituted. Here's the player coming on for him. Maybe seeing it in some moments. Meza with the number 8 is now inside the game. And River again attacking on the right hand side. Into the box now. Balls played down the middle, cleared away by the Boca defense. River still have it left hand side now. There is Acuña. Acuña on the left hand side goes towards the ground line, dribbles the Boca defender there, and the cross comes in. Marchesin doesn't get it safe in the first moment, but then grabs the ball off the ground and has it into his hands. Gets brought down the ground then by a River player. I think it was a foul given. Free kick for Boca inside their own box. Boca haven't substituted any player just yet. And while I was saying that the first 3 minutes of the second half, Boca were able to create some play towards the front, this has completely calmed down as well. Just as the wind in the second half, and the River have taken back control of this game, even though they're in the lead 2-1, and Boca might maybe try to be a little more active here, but River, after 3 minutes of a little more Boca action here in the second half, have taken back control and have had the more efficient attacks, I guess. The more precise the attacks that were going more towards goal, creating more danger. Now Boca with the ball inside their defense. Making some meters now in the midfield. Another ball that was meant to be profound there. Into the run of the attacker, but it was too long. So it ends up with the defense of River, but they give the ball back to Boca, and now it's into the foot of the Boca attacker. It's on the edge of the box, he's into the box. Wants to place it down to the left-hand side. There he has it. Carlos Palacios. Delgado in the defense now. Advíncula loses the ball to a River player, and Boca have to play it back towards the goalkeeper to do a new build-up. Even if Boca have the ball kind of close to the box of River, they cannot really enter into this box till now and create any danger out of a more settled and built-up attack. We remember their goal was scored by a counter-attack, a simple long ball that was misread by a River defender, creating a one-on-one of Miguel Merentiel against Armani, and was the only chance of Boca until now. Enough for them for a goal, but now they are again inside the box of River. He can get the shot, and it was blocked in the last seconds. Now we have a corner kick for Boca. Belmonte, 60 meters, central position, edge of the box. Has one dangerous situation there. If he had made a step more to the right, he might even have achieved a free shooting path towards the goal, but he tries to shoot it directly, and one of the River defenders can get his foot behind the ball and the what's the word? Sorry. Between the ball. Now the ball comes in. Header tried, but no real danger for Boca. Now a phase of some minutes of Boca pressure there. And maybe also because River are not attacking that early on, as early as in the first half. Even though they try, they're still going for pressing, but not with 2 or 3 men. Only 1 man attacking the Boca defensive lines there when they play the ball among each other in the midfield. Misread ball by the Boca defense. Here goes River, played already inside the box. Can he shoot it? He can shoot it, and it's past the goal. Mastantuono. As beautiful as his first goal was in the 25th minute, here he had the big 100% chance to make it 3. And he just throws it into the trash. The ball was completely misread by the left Boca defender. And on the right side then of the River attacking half, Mastantuono had the ball, appeared freely on the right hand side into the box of Boca, then tries to bend the ball into the left hand side of the goal he was facing, but puts the ball 2 meters wide. Enormously huge chance for the wonder kid Mastantuono, who could have become the hero of the game even more now. But just, we have to say it, throws this chance into trash. That should have been, must have been the 3-1. Also, Marchesin was kind of sticking into his goal. Didn't make 1 or 2 steps out. The wide angle of the goal, so the long corner was wide open, which was where Mastantuono was trying to put the ball, but didn't achieve to put the ball. Just put it 2 meters wide instead. We'll see if he will regret Mastantuono. Now the game is interrupted for a free kick for Boca, I think, yeah. Boca player fouled by Martinez Cuarta. Players again discussing it. It's a game of many discussions, and now also some aggressions. All the River players was trying to push Merentiel a little bit there. No card shown for that. It was nothing all too violent though, it was just a little provocation, little physical provocation there. Which can be tolerated if it stays if it stays like calm as that, or as long as it's not a punch, I guess. Free kick of Boca doesn't get them anything, and now River have the ball in their midfield again. There is Acuna, left hand side, makes some meters but loses the ball to the Boca defense, who then don't lose it back to River but cannot create a counter attack. And now Advíncula loses the ball to the River attacker, who now gets fouled onto the left edge of the box. I think it is Mastantuono who gets brought down by the Boca defender just 3 meters off the left top edge of the penalty box. Great opportunity for a free kick cross that will come in. And it was Mastantuono who was brought down. And there we see Mastantuono's chance again, that I told you some minutes ago. The chance that should have been, must have been, the 3-1. And we can see that Mastantuono was trying it alone. One of his colleagues was inside the box as well. He could have just crossed it into the box to his colleague. And this colleague, who didn't see who it was, could have just put it into the empty goal. 3 minutes ago, River with a real 100% chance to make it 3-1. Maybe they make it now. With Mastantuono. On the ball. The shot comes in, it's deflected, and it's a corner kick for River. I think it was not Mastantuono who shot it, but maybe Acuna. Another corner for River. Corners until now, out of which River also had many more than Boca, were always meaning danger. We brought from the left hand side. Now swung in. Cross comes in, header deflected twice, but into the arms of Marchesin. In the end it was one of his own players who deflected it, but very slowly. It was rolling into his arms in the end, so no danger there. And River have the ball in their defense because the long ball of Marchesin doesn't arrive at any Boca attacker. And Mastantuono with the ball left hand side, plays it into the outside because none of his colleagues can control it. Throw in for Boca inside their own half. I've just seen the coach of River Plate, Gallardo, who interestingly never lost a match against Boca Juniors in the Estadio Mas Monumental, where they play today. Will this streak go on? It looks good. River are leading 2-1 and they are the better team. But that doesn't mean anything because Boca is now attacking on the right hand side with Advíncula again. Is there attacked there by the River defenders and now gives the ball to his colleagues Blanco. Carlos Palacio and Blanco together with Blanco creating some danger there on the left hand side, creating some passes, a real danger, and then Zenon wants to get the cross inside into the box of River, but completely mishits the ball. It just flies outside of play and gives another goal kick for River, and we will have substitutions on the Boca side, who will desperately need them, because like this it cannot continue. 20 minutes already played, 21 now, inside the second half. And Boca still without a real chance to make it 2-2. Well, we have seen several River chances to make it 3-1, especially the one in the 61st minute when Mastantuono put the ball past an almost empty goal. Colidio now with a foul against Belmonte, resulting in a free kick for Boca. And maybe now the substitutions that will be done. They weren't done at the last free kick, at the last throw-in. Off the pitch goal, Belmonte, as far as I can see it, and Carlos Palacios making place for their colleagues, which I will see here soon in flash score. Di Lolio, and the other one I didn't see. Now River win the ball back, 30 meters from the Boca goal, but the tackling was fair, and Boca win the ball back. And now they have a counter-attack. Zenon can make some meter, there's some space in front of him. Zenon with the ball, plays it down the right-hand side, right edge of the box. The ball's back with Zenon, now chips the ball into the box, tries to chip it towards his colleague attacker, but it's too long and into the arms of Armani. And River can control the ball again. Who were the Boca substitutes? I still don't see it in flash score. We'll put them in ASAP. As long as they aren't shown the substitutes of Boca Juniors, I will resume telling you what's going on the pitch, which wasn't much. There we can see the first substitute. Ceballos with the number 7 was subbed in for Belmonte. Number 7, Ceballos. And Di Lolio, how do you pronounce it? I'm not really an avid Spanish speaker. Di Lolio getting subbed in for Rojo. There we go, Boca squad updated. Nothing happening on the pitch while that happened. So it was not Carlos Palacios subbed off, but Marcos Rojo, the captain of Boca Juniors. Let's see how these substitutes can influence the game that Boca will play in the last 20 minutes of the match. They will desperately need some fresh impulsions, because apart from the chance that led to the 1-1, to the goal that made the 1-1 that it was at the time of Miguel Merentiel, Boca didn't really have great chances. Now won the ball back, and now it's played onto the right hand side. Boca Juniors attacking. Can he go into the box? No, he cannot. He's just running into Quarta. Ceballos running into Quarta without any chance of going past him. And now River on the left hand side attacking again. Colidio playing together with Mastantuono, but losing the ball again to Boca. And now maybe a long ball towards Miguel Merentiel. He's already inside the box. Miguel Merentiel shoots it but blocked. Kind of a dangerous situation, but Miguel Merentiel was alone against the whole defense of River, so surely he won't get anything created there. Advincula. Now the cross comes in towards Merentiel, but it's easily caught by Armani, who's launching the counter-attack. That is now played under the screams and roars of El Mas Monumental, the most monumental stadium in the world. Mastantuono plays the ball inside the box towards who I think might be Perez, I don't know, but nothing created there. Boca now with the ball of Di Lolio in his possession. Blanco Has it on the left hand side, ball was not in the outside of the field as the River fans reclaim. And now the attack may beats onto the right hand side, the ball is in the box of River, the chance for Boca shoots, and just half a meter wide. Ceballos with the biggest chance of of Boca in the second half. That surely should have meant 2-2. Because all of a sudden they had space in front of them. The passing way off onto the right hand side was open, and Ceballos received the ball offset to the right into the penalty box, could go into the penalty box and then shot it towards the wide corner, towards the far corner, but just put it 1 meter wide. We saw it, it was most likely no offside. Maybe he was like 1 or 2 centimeters into the offside, but was not visible from what I saw there. So the goal would have counted if it had fallen. Gigantic chance for Boca Juniors there in the 71st minute. As we see 2 other substitutions of River here. Perez is subbed off for Aliendro, number 29. And the other substitution I will put in some instances. They have made the substitutions at the right moment because Boca were having their best chance of the game to make it 2-2. And it kind of came out of nothing. Because River for once just let a slightly little space open there in the right half of the penalty area. But now Armani and their defense have the ball, and Boca tried something like pressing now. They were waiting for mistakes in the first half, now they try to press inside there, and now Mastantuono has the ball but can't get into the box. Ball won back by Boca, Advincula onto the right hand side, down to Ceballos. Ceballos right hand side, fouled by a River player who will get the yellow card. It was number 28, Martinez Cuarta, who was committing the foul and receiving the yellow card. As Boca tried to create attacks that they so desperately need in the last 16 minutes plus added on time of this game. And they now have the free kick 40 meters from goal, right side of the River half. Swung in now, cross comes in into the box. It's taken by the Boca attacker and played down, passed down into the middle but cleared by the River defense. Another attack from Boca there. And the foul. Free kick for River. Because let's see what it was. I think it was, I don't know. I cannot really see the numbers always of the players, and it's hard to always guess them by face. We have another substitution at River. Driussi, the goal scorer of the 2-1, is subbed off for number 9, Borja. Who's going to come in for the last 15 minutes. Which is the 5th substitution, I think, already for River. They have done all of the substitutions. Boca still have 3 substitutions left. Didn't substitute much in this game. Until now it didn't pay off. River still up 2-1, still deserved from the first half. Boca had the big chance 4 minutes ago to make it 2-2. But apart from that, Boca not really dangerous until now. But now they have won the ball back. in the midfield, fighting for the ball with River, and it's the foul in the middle of the pitch against Blanco. And they have it in the defense. Boca. Now waiting for their space to open up on the right hand side. Try to play the deep ball there. Riva shooting, try to clear the ball, shoots it onto the head of his own team member. But no danger. And the ball is with the River coach Gallardo, who is a coach of success at River if you consider their matches at home against Boca. He has never lost against Boca in El Monumental. He has always won, I think, even. Gallardo with the River Plate as a coach. And his team now has to have the ball into the Boca half, far away from their own goal. I think it's good for them. Now the ball's down the middle, but Boca can win it back, and they will try to get a fast counter-attack going, because that's how they try to play. By the way, number 10 Lanzini was subbed on for Colidio earlier, so I'm just going to put him into the River squad. Well, Boca have the ball deep into their own half, and River are still pressing them. Still pressing high, even though they lead 2-1. Offense is the best defense. Now the motto of River. Doesn't get them any big chances in the second half. That is a little bit more calm than the first. And River had many chances. We had chaotic wind conditions. And one very beautiful free kick goal of Mastantuono. The chances became rarer. I think River are now trying to avoid the biggest risk there. And try to stay stable, basically, but don't stop attacking Boca very high into their half. Nonetheless, Boca still achieve attacks here now with some luck. Di Lolio won the ball, plays it towards Blanco, who has the ball into the half of River now, and now Boca for the last 10 minutes, maybe they will get something like pressure going on, like appearing with high presence of players inside the River half as they do it now. They have the ball still in the middle of the pitch, but all players except for Malchesin are now in the River half. So Boca trying to press for the decisive goal here in the end. Long cross down the right hand side towards Ceballos, but losing it to the River defense. Might mount a counter-attack. Throw in for River. They choose not to control the ball inside the pitch, but wants to get some time for him and his team. It's 10 minutes to go, almost. Plus added on time, that's going to be maybe around 4 minutes. There was not too much going on till now in this half, maybe even 3 minutes. As this half was kind of calmly played. You can feel that it's a derby of tension now, but not a tension in the sense that everyone's really aggressive and there's much fire in it, but the tension of wanting to avoid the last decisive action that could mean defeat, ultimate defeat, or, in the case of Boca scores a goal, losing the win. So both teams are trying to do their best and kind of focusing on their own play and not on the play of their opponents. So the second half was kind of calm for a Superclasico. It was rather the first half that was giving us entertainment. River have the ball in their defense. Long ball played down out to the right hand side to Mastantuono, who will go towards the ground line. Mastantuono now inside the box. Plays the ball back towards the edge of the box, but none of his teammates there to pick it up. And we have a goal kick for Boca because the rest of the attack didn't bring anything dangerous either. Nine minutes to go. It's not a game that has the many moments that could mean the lucky punch right now. It's a game of waiting, trying to find the decisive mistake of the opponent. It's not a game right now that has chances every minute. But if one will be created, and this is very well possible, because now the last 10 minutes have begun, then it might sure and certainly be decisive. And looking at the big chances in the second half, the game was more equilibrated as well. River had one enormous chance to make it 3-1. Boca had one enormous chance to make it 2-2. And now Boca have the ball 30 meters from the River goal. Playing it within their defense. They're heightening their pressure there. Now the cross comes in, but it's too far again. An easy catch for Armani. Meters away from the nearest Boca attacker. Boca, they often try it with long balls into the box and crosses from the side, but they never really achieve it. Always ends up with Armani or with nobody. So the Boca attack is not really able to make anything out of those long balls into the box right now, which is what River has done better in the first half, and one of those crosses in led to the 2-1. Boca have the ball within their defense, trying to mount a counter-attack. Now maybe some space on the right-hand side for Ceballos, but the pass towards his teammate is intercepted by River, who are not able to create any more thing. Now Boca with the chance, maybe it's a player of Boca inside the box of River, and they have a corner kick. Is this the set piece that's gonna bring the decision for Boca? And maybe this one decisive moment that they couldn't create all of the game with a normal means of play. The corner is taken as a pass, and the cross swung in from the left middle side of the River half, and now Boca defender tries to lob the ball past the River defense, but intercepted by those River defenders, and it's a free kick for River Plate now. They only have to stand stable 5 more minutes to secure, and the added on time of course, to secure this win. And Boca don't seem as though they still have to wait for their decisive moment. Now a little verbal fight between Advincula and the referee, as well as Battaglia, who then gets shown the yellow card by the ref, even though he was the captain, so he had the right to discuss. But he must have said anything that didn't please the referee, so he gave the yellow card to Battaglia. Boca now with the ball in their defense. As so often, River have now resorted to firmly drying their concrete there in the own half and putting up a stable block against Boca attacks, so that Boca balls don't even come close to the River box that easy. Advincula tries to find solutions himself. Ball to the right hand side, there's Ceballos. Ceballos chips it to Advincula on the right hand side, who falls down, and it's not a foul Really easy giveaway of the ball by Advincula. Throw in for River. Advincula just trying to get the one-on-one. Misinterprets the positioning of his opponent and just falls to the ground, and the ball is falling outside of the pitch. Kind of symptomatic towards Boca's doing right now. Blanco is subbed off at Boca. Sarachi is coming in as a new player, who has the number 3. New power for Boca for the last 3 minutes plus added on time. And I repeat, Boca are not close to success. River have the ball inside the Boca half, where they want the ball to be far away from their own goal, just trying to keep possession. Have another throw in. Mastantuono gets the ball down at the left corner of the pitch, where he just tries to secure the ball with the help of his colleagues, so Boca cannot win it. And the tackle away of the ball, it's not even a goal kick for Boca, it's a throw-in of Advincula, who now gets fouled, and now they have the opportunity to get a long ball to the front. Boca Juniors, 2 minutes from the end. A long ball out of the own half, maybe has a chance to secure the ball inside the River half, but they don't play it like that. They play it short, they play it as a pass, they play it between the defenders. And River still pressing, Boca not really with anything to do against this, and now pass almost into the feet of the River midfielder by the Boca player, but now the cross down into the box by Ceballos. He's down the ground line. Ceballos gets the cross in. Ceballos headed away by the River defender, and it's a corner for Boca. Ceballos was down the ground line into the box on the right hand side. If this cross had been just a little bit further, there Miguel Merentiel would have been there to make it really dangerous. Another corner for Boca. Lucky punch maybe. Cross comes in. Cross comes in, it's towards the goal, it's saved, it's shot, it's blocked! And now cleared away by the River defense. I said lucky punch and we almost saw it. A header from 5 meters could be saved without any bigger problems there by Armani. But Armani couldn't keep it safe, and another Boca player was appearing there on the left hand side of the small penalty area. And was kind of getting the shot, but was immediately blocked by the River defender. If he hadn't been there, the River defender would have been an open goal. From a set piece, Boca almost with the equalizer. That, judging by how they play the last minutes, may even be deserved, because River have resorted to defending and trying not to concede dangerous situations by Boca by trying to not let them come close into their box with passes. But the River themselves also haven't really created anything dangerous in the last 20 minutes or so. Added on time is 5 minutes. You can see right now, it's 5 minutes that the River still have to hold tight to avoid the 8th draw in 15 matches. And get back on winning terms. Substitution. Aguirre substituted in for Delgado at Boca. Number 33, Aguirre. River is attacking. Right hand side. Mastantuono has the ball, goes towards the corner flag, and then fouls a Boca player. Costa. Who gets the free kick for his team. 4 minutes still to go. Boca with the free kick in their own half. And the River fans now getting louder. Wanna shout for the victory. As though all of those 85,018 members of the record affluence for a Superclasico themselves would wanna keep the Boca players away from the River goal. But the River have won the ball back in the midfield. Mastantuono controls, no, doesn't control the ball. If he had controlled the ball, it would have been him against Marchesin. But Boca have the ball back in the midfield. Go into the River half. Di Lolio. No, it wasn't Di Lolio, it was Carlos Palacios. Now takes the throw in they got. Every player now, with the exception of Marchesin, is inside the half of River. River really pressed down deep into their own defense by Boca, but Boca don't play enough precise balls here. And we have a free kick for River inside their own half with 2.5 minutes to go, which could already be the decisive moments, and the stadium feels it. You can hear it in the background. The background noise gets louder, and I'm not going to turn it down in the stream, because they're sensing another home victory in a Superclasico. Their last defeat at home in a Superclasico dates from 2022. That's already 3 years ago. And River, with a win, would approach the top spots of their league group. And become a contender for greater things to come in this season in Argentina as well. Another foul that results in a free kick for Boca there. Battaglia was brought down by Castaño. And now it's Marchesin who takes the free kick almost at the middle line. With every player like standing a bit off the edge of the box of River here, because we have less than 1 minute to go and Boca somehow have to get the ball inside the box of River, which they can get, but it's headed away by a River player. And now played towards the front by the River defense. Advíncula has the ball, can keep it against Mastantuono. Who else would have decided the game? They get the ball. It's foul against Advíncula. One last free kick for Boca. Free kick at the middle line. Last opportunity for the Boca Juniors to get the equalizer in this Superclasico. Long ball played in. Who wins the header duel? It's River, but the ball's back with the Boca player, and now we have Ceballos inside the box. Header comes in. Oh, what a save by Armani! Enormous chance to make it 2-2 for Boca. Out of 5 meters of distance, slightly offset to the right, a Boca player can head the ball towards the goal of Armani, who, with an absolutely marvelous reflex and flight, can keep the ball out of the goal. I had already seen the ball crossing over the line, but Armani keeps River alive. Last corner of the game for Boca now. Ball swung in now. Will they get the header? Or will River Clear it away. Boca still have the ball. It's with Advincula. And now River have the ball and will get the last counter-attack. And it's 2 against 1, 2 against 2 now. River not really with an interest to score one more goal. And now they get the free kick inside the half of Boca Juniors, which will be the decisive moment of this match. Is it over? Yes, it's over now. River plates celebrate victory. And in the end, lucky victory. As we have to say, after this enormous chance for Boca in the last minute. But Armani, the goalkeeper in the end, saves the 3 points for River, who snatched victory in the Superclasico over their fiercest rivals, which is overall, I have to say, deserved, because they were the better team, especially in the first half. In the second half, did less to score a third goal, but rather try to administer the 2-1. There were 2 or 3 situations only in which Boca could have made it 2-2, in which Boca got dangerous, but those were dangerous. Especially in the 71st minute when Ceballos put the ball 1 meter wide, just free inside the box. And now, in the 95th minute, the last minute of added on time, when Armani, in the style of a handball goalkeeper, had to save a head ball out of the closest distance. So all in all, congratulations to River Plate for this victory in the Superclasico. It's the 3rd defeat for Boca in the 15th league match. Nothing too disastrous if you see it as a normal league game, but of course it's the Superclasico, so I guess Boca would rather be relegated but win the Superclasico than, I don't know, finish first in the regular season but not win this Superclasico. So yeah, it is, after all, a defeat that's painful for Boca. Because it is deserved for River, who are now celebrating with their fans in front of a white and red wall in El Monumental, which is filled with more than 85,000 fans for the first time in the history of El Superclasico. And those fans are really making the difference, as it seems today. Because River were better into the one-on-ones, they were more physical. They had more chances overall of the game. And beat Boca Juniors deservedly here. For the league standings, that won't change much. Maybe River will go in 3rd spot in their group of the league. I can just maybe look it up real quick. Boca still 1st of Group A of the Argentinian league. That is split into 2 groups, as I can now explain to you. It's 30 teams split into 2 groups of 15. Every team play every other team of the league once, I think. And then the best 8 of the 15 of the 2 groups go into a round of last 16s for a knockout round type mode for the title. Yeah, River Plate is 3rd of Group B now. And Boca is 1st of Group A. So this victory really secured River a spot inching closer towards the top spots for the round of last 16 and for this further season. Thank you very much to the stream, everyone who was here today. It was a great pleasure for me to comment the first Superclasico here in Valentin's Football Corner, with many, many great moments, such as notably the absolutely beautiful free kick of Mastantuono in the first half, that brought River up 1-0, that I will surely put on Instagram as well as a clip. So only for this, it was absolutely worth doing the stream. And I was glad you were coming along today. And I wish you a very, very nice evening or afternoon, wherever you're sitting and watching the stream from. And see you again for another South American football match soon enough. Here on my channel. Stay tuned to not miss out on whatever I have to tell you next. And live the great and passionate, authentic universe of South American football together. That's what we're here for. Thank you. That's what we did together tonight. I wish you a very good day, very good night, and see you next time on Valentine's Football Call.